The Duke of Sussex, 37, recently took part in a Q&A with Fast Company, a US business magazine. While discussing his role as Chief Impact Officer with California-based mental health startup BetterUp, Harry spoke about a mental health awakening that has seen droves of people quit their jobs in order to prioritize their happiness and mental health. Prince Harry said issues such as increased burnout and people wanting to quit their jobs had been brought to the forefront during this period, but had been brewing for quite some time. He added, "We were just at the beginning of the mental health awakening. This work, on mental health, has never been more important because people are finally paying attention, and a big component of this mission is building awareness and continuing to pioneer the conversation." On numerous occasions in the past, the Duke has opened about his own mental health struggles, particularly how the tragic and sudden death of his mother Princess Diana impacted him. In 2017, as part of a campaign to raise awareness of mental health issues, Harry said, "I can safely say that losing my mum at the age of 12, and therefore shutting down all of my emotions for the last 20 years, has had a quite serious effect on not only my personal life but my work as well." He added, "I thought that thinking of her was only going to make me sad and not going to bring her back. So from an emotional side, I was, like, right, don't TMT ever let your emotions be part of anything." He also spoke about his mother TM's death earlier this year, as part of a mental health docuseries entitled The Me You Can TMTC trademark that he produced with US chat show host Oprah Winfrey. In the series, he said he did not process his mother's death because he felt so angry at what had happened, a feat that led him to seek help from a therapist. Commentator Jonathan Sacerdoti claimed that while Harry has previously spoken out about his own mental health battles and has sought help from a mental health professional, it does not make him qualified to pioneer the conversation on the topic. Mr. Sacerdoti told Express.co.uk, he talks of the mental health awakening trademark as if mental health and psychology are somehow new discoveries. He may personally be adjusting to a newfound awareness of mental illness and trying to achieve happiness, but his talk of wanting to pioneer the conversation trademark just sounds a bit flat. As far as I know, he isn't TMT qualified or trained in the field of psychology or psychotherapy. Mr. Sacerdoti, who is a regular contributor to the Spectator, added, "You might say that being a patient doesn't TMT make one an effective or knowledgeable doctor." Harry and his wife Meghan had also previously stated that their mental health was one of the main reasons for their step away from the royal family. She said, "Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry especially, because I know how much loss he has suffered, but I knew that if I didn't say it, then I would do it. I just didn't want to be alive anymore." Following their step away from duties early last year, the couple moved to California where they lead a financially independent lifestyle, with their 2 children, 6-month-old Lilibet and Archie, 2. The couple has since signed lucrative deals with streaming giants Netflix and Spotify, in addition to continuing philanthropic efforts through the charitable arm of their Archewell Foundation. In the 500-page book, Corrick recalled her encounter with Harry during his wild oats sowing phase. As she met with the prince, she remembered that the smell of cigarettes and alcohol seemed to ooze from every pore of his body, as reported by the Daily Mail. The Duke of Sussex notably said his grandmother managed to get the monarchy to move with the times. Prince Harry has reportedly stopped smoking since he married Meghan Markle in 2018 on top of adopting a healthier lifestyle. In March 2021, he said losing his mother at such a young age had something to do with his tendency to party too hard in his 20s. "I can safely say that losing my mom at the age of 12 and therefore shutting down all of my emotions for the last 20 years, has had a quite serious effect on not only my personal life but also my work as well," Harry wrote in a post in partnership with BetterUp. His co-workers include the likes of Rashard Robinson, Chris Krebs, and the now Katie Couric. Ms. Couric TM's book gives no quarter to many celebrities to the extent that a source told the Daily Mail, she TMLL be stuck with her newsletter and Instagram stories for the rest of her working life, even though the book oozes of her desperation to be back on network television hosting her own show. Another source said the book should be called Burning Bridges, trademark by Cathy Corrick. Body language expert Judy James has analysed Kate Middleton and Prince William TMS roles as parents, looking at what techniques they have used and continue to use to raise their 3 children. The expert claims that both Kate and William are united and share the tasks of being both mother and father. According to Judy, Kate and William do not adhere to gender stereotypes and do not play specific roles when it comes to parenting. Their parenting techniques are the same and they never have different ideas to how they should raise their children. The body language expert said, although she and William are very hands-on with their small children in public, I have never seen one moment when they might have had different ideas as to how their children should be treated or dealt with. Their synchronicity signals are strong, making them appear united as parents. They happily take it in turns to hold hands or offer cuddles or play with a well-balanced, like-minded approach. Judy claimed that this way of parenting is different to other royal couples, who have taken on the more traditional roles of mother and father. She said, with other royal parenting there has often been an amount of role-playing, with one doing the cuddles and play while the other is in charge of the training or more formal stuff. Kate and William TMS complementary, role-sharing balance means all the children seem to use either or both parent in the same way though. Judy noted that Kate comes from a very tight, close family and she appears to have brought that sense of family bonding to her own husband and children. The Duchess of Cambridge is not afraid to bond with her children by playing with them and acting, at times, like a child herself. The body language expert said, Kate seems to combine her parent/child role with some moments when it looks more like child/child. She joins in the play and the fun with a sense of spontaneity and enthusiasm that reflects the state of her children more than that of an adult. Louis will make her laugh out loud and she will play with the other children like one of their gang. Sharing like this can help show her as an empathetic mother who gets their games in a way that could encourage them to get her rules as their mother, too. Another technique royal fans have seen Kate do as a parent is to give her full attention to her children. This too demonstrates the Duchess' trademark empathetic nature, according to Judy. The body language expert explained, Kate uses the technique of head closeness and signals of full attention with her children. Either holding them close to her face to talk and use non-verbal tie signs when they are smaller, or bending right down to their height as they grow. This eye attention and proximity should create feelings of self-confidence in her children as well as creating strong bonds of empathy. It helps her to tune into her children's TMS emotions and thoughts and allows them to see that they are important and a priority, even when she is working. Judy added, even when she is in full regal mode, Kate prioritizes her children and her style of communicating with them face to face. Mirror's royal editor Russell Myers claimed the Duke of Sussex, who quit royal duties with Meghan Markle last year for a new life in California, has hurt family members with recent outbursts. Mr. Myers made the comments after Harry waded into the cash for honours row surrounding Prince Charles's charity. Mr. Myers told the Mirror, the Prince of Wales is caught between a rock and a hard place on how to deal with his son after so many recent and often hurtful outbursts towards the rest of his family. For while Prince Charles, according to those close to him, still loves and cares deeply for Prince Harry, there is a certain unease at how frequently and with such ease he seems to wade into his family TMS affairs. The family he upped sticks and left behind, if you recall. The latest souring of relations between father and son seems to stem from Harry attempting to claim he raised concerns about a Saudi tycoon at the center of a probe into sizable donations to Charles' TMS charity. This is at odds with Charles, or any of his closest advisors, who appear to have no knowledge of Harry ever mentioning anything of the sort. The Harry that presents himself in public, or through his vastly expensive lawyers, is quite different from the one who still engages with his father. The danger is he will run out of a number of already dwindling allies in his own family if he doesn't see the hurt he is causing to others who have maintained a dignified silence. Mr. Meyer's comments come after Harry denied involvement in Cash for Honour's claims and said he severed ties with a Saudi billionaire donor to the Prince of Wales charity 6 years ago. A spokesperson for the Duke said Harry expressed his concerns about Mahfouz Mari Mubarak bin Mahfouz, who it is claimed was promised a knighthood and residency in the UK while donating to the Prince's Foundation, in 2015. Harry is living in Montecito with Meghan after the couple stepped back as working royals in March 2020. Harry said Charles stopped taking his calls and cut him off financially after Megxit. And weeks later in a podcast appearance, the Duke appeared to suggest Charles, the Queen and the late Prince Philip had all failed as parents. Harry said he wanted to break the cycle of genetic pain and suffering for the sake of his own children. He said of Charles, "He's treated me the way he was treated, so how can I change that for my own kids?" Harry has returned to Britain twice, since Megxit, once for the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral in April and again for the unveiling of a Princess Diana statue in July.